Have you ever set a big, exciting goal like, I am going to get in the best shape of my life, or I am going to write a book, only to find yourself back at square one a few months later? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. And I'm here to tell you it's not your fault. The problem isn't your ambition or your willpower. The problem is you're relying on goals, and goals alone just don't work. Think about it. When you set a massive goal, what does it really do? It creates a huge gap between where you are now and where you want to be. That gap can feel overwhelming. It puts a ton of pressure on you. Every day you don't make massive progress, you feel like you're failing. You end up in this constant state of pre-success failure, always striving but never arriving. It's exhausting, plus goals rely on motivation. And let's be honest, motivation is the flakiest friend you'll ever have. It shows up when you're feeling great, when you've had a good night's sleep, and when the sun is shining. But what about the days you're tired, stressed, or just not feeling it? That's when motivation disappears and your progress grinds to a halt. This is where systems come in. A system isn't about the final destination, it's about the daily journey. Winners and losers often have the same goals. The difference is that winners have a system that carries them forward day in and day out, regardless of how they feel. Let's take that get fit goal. That's a goal. It's vague and daunting. Now consider a system. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. As soon as I get home from work, I will put on my workout clothes, which are laid out on my bed, and do a 20-minute workout in my living room. See the difference? One is a wish. The other is a plan. One relies on a burst of inspiration. The other relies on a simple, repeatable process. So, what exactly is a system? A system is a repeatable process built into your environment that leads you toward your goal whether you feel motivated or not. It's about creating a structure that makes the right actions the easiest actions to take. Let's break down the components of a great system. First, you have the inputs. These are the specific, small actions you take consistently. Not work out more, but do 20 push-ups. Second, you have the environment. This is the physical and social setting that supports your actions. And third, you have feedback. This is how you measure and improve your process. The focus is on the process, not the outcome. You fall in love with the process and the results take care of themselves. So how do you build a system like this for your own goals? I'm going to walk you through a 5-step process that will completely change the way you approach your ambitions. Step 1 is to break your goal into behaviors. A big goal is just a collection of small, consistent actions. Your job is to identify what those actions are. If your goal is to write a book, the behavior isn't write a book. That's the outcome. The behavior is write 300 words every morning. If your goal is to eat healthier, the behavior could be prep my lunches for the week every Sunday afternoon. Get as specific and as small as you can. The key is to make the behavior so easy that you can't say no. Once you have your behavior, you move to step 2. Build a habit loop. This is the core engine of your system. A habit loop has 3 parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue is the trigger that tells your brain to start the behavior. The routine is the behavior itself. And the reward is the positive feeling that tells your brain, hey, this was good. Let's do it again. Let's go back to our writing example. The behavior or routine is write 300 words. What's the cue? It could be after my first cup of coffee. So the moment you finish your coffee, that's your trigger to open your laptop and start writing. And the reward? It doesn't have to be big. It could be the satisfaction of checking a box on your calendar or enjoying 5 minutes of your favorite podcast after you're done. You're creating an automatic neurological loop that makes the behavior happen on autopilot. Now for step 3, which is where the magic really happens. Design your environment for success. Your environment has a huge, often invisible influence on your behavior. You want to make your desired habits easy and your bad habits hard. Increase the friction for things you want to avoid and decrease it for things you want to do. Want to eat healthier? Don't just rely on willpower to avoid junk food. Get it out of your house. Put healthy snacks like fruits and nuts on the counter where you can see them. Want to practice guitar more? Don't keep it in its case in the closet. Put it on a stand in the middle of your living room. When you see it, you'll be more likely to pick it up. Make your environment do the heavy lifting for you. This is about being an architect of your choices, not a victim of your impulses. This brings us to step 4. Track the system, not the goal. Remember, we're focusing on the process. So instead of tracking your weight on a scale every day, track whether you completed your workout. Instead of tracking your book's total word count, track whether you hit your 300-word target for the day. Get a calendar and put a big X on every day you stick to your system. This is incredibly powerful. Your only job becomes, don't break the chain. This simple visual feedback creates momentum. You'll start to take pride in that unbroken chain of X's. It shifts your identity. You're no longer someone who is trying to get fit. You are someone who works out 3 times a week. You are no longer someone trying to write a book. You are a writer. You are what you repeatedly do. Finally, step 5, review and optimize. No system is perfect from the start. Life happens, things change, and your system needs to be flexible. So once a week or once a month, take a few minutes to review your system. Ask yourself, what's working? What's not working? Is the behavior still small enough? Is my environment supporting me? Maybe you find that working out after work isn't realistic because you're too tired. Okay, no problem. You didn't fail. The system just needs an adjustment. Can you shift your workout to the morning instead? Or maybe break it into 2 10-minute sessions. This isn't about judging your performance. It's about debugging your process. You're a scientist in the lab of your own life, constantly running experiments and tweaking the variables until you find what works for you. When you focus on the system, you get to enjoy a sense of progress every single day. Every time you perform your tiny habit, you win. You get a little hit of satisfaction, which builds momentum and confidence. You're not waiting for some distant finish line to feel good about yourself. You're finding success in the process itself. So I want you to pick one goal you have right now. Just one. Forget the outcome for a minute. What is the single, smallest, repeatable action you could take every day that would move you in the right direction? What habit loop could you build around it? How could you change your environment just a tiny bit to make it easier? And how will you track it? Stop setting yourself up for failure with massive, pressure-filled goals. Instead, build a system. Fall in love with the process of showing up. Because when you do that, the results you're dreaming of won't just be possible, they'll be inevitable. The secret to getting the results you want is to forget about the results and focus on the system. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped you think differently about your goals, hit that like button and subscribe for more content on building a better life. Let me know in the comments what system you're going to build first. I'd love to hear about it. See you in the next one.